Welcome to the Fire and Earth podcast with your hosts, Jason Mefford and Kathy Gruber. Fire and Earth, giving you the keys to unlock your limitless potential.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Fire and Earth podcast. I'm your co-host, Kathy Gruber.
And I'm Jason Mefford. And today we thought we would do another little short episode just to get you thinking, because we want to talk a little bit about hair. Hair.
Hair. Rabbits?
No, not H-A-R-E, but hair, H-A-I-R, hair.
And it's interesting, we both have hats on today.
I know. Well, it's, I got told one time by the executive that I work for, the CFO, she's like, Jason, if you quit cutting your hair, you wouldn't have to wear those hats. And I thought, well, actually, I cut my hair so I can wear those hats. But anyway, it's hair is an interesting thing that a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on, right? I mean, if you have curly hair, you might want straight hair. If you have straight hair, you might want curly hair.
Everybody wants somebody else's hair. I don't know
anybody if you're
that likes their
going
hair.
bald, it's like, I want hair. If you've got so much hair, it's like, oh, this hair is like everywhere. I wish I were bald or had less of it, right? So hair is one of those things where it just feels like you always want what's on the other side of the fence, right? The grass is always greener on the other side of the hair fence. So let's talk about hair for just a few minutes.
Okay. So I've never had great hair. I mean, I just don't. It's very fine. It's wavy, and I have weird cowlicks, which is honestly why I'm wearing a hat today. Because after dance class the other night, because I sweated, it just kind of got curly and weird. And, now, so one thing I decided to do with my hair is I have red streaks in my hair. I love the red streaks in my hair. I get so many compliments on my hair, which up until that point, it was just hair. My mom had what she called poker straight hair. It was very thick, it was very coarse, and it just sat there. My dad was balding, but with very thin, fine hair, and I got his hair. Thanks, Dad. I did, however, inherit my mother's gray at 20 thing. So I have a full head of gray hair under all the hair dye. But what's funny is it's so interesting, the perception. People are like, oh my God, I'm getting so old, my hair is going gray. And I'm like, yeah, but my hair went gray at 20. Mm-hmm. We have these certain ideas of what aging looks like. So to me, gray hair doesn't mean old, because I was gray so young. I have clients who at 6 had to get hearing aids. Mm-hmm. I have clients that don't want to get hearing aids because that means they're old. So we all have this interesting perception about hair. But recently I was put on a medication that caused the majority of my hair to fall out. Mm. And I have to say, it was devastating. I was having anxiety attacks in the middle of the night. I was crying in the shower because I was honestly afraid I'd get out and have no hair, which was not what was happening, but I couldn't wear my hair down. I actually got clip-in extensions because my hair was so thin, I couldn't wear my hair down. It was so embarrassing and so humiliating to me. So for any women that are experiencing hair loss, I get how horrible that is and how devastating that can be. And like I said, I've never had great hair, but when it started to be even less great, I literally came back from the hairdresser and stood in Eric's arms and cried because my hair was so thin. It was awful. And it's finally coming back. I'm off the medication. It's been almost a year and my hair is finally back, starting to come back, but it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. So the hair thing for women is real, man. It's horrible.
Well, and from a man perspective, there's the same thing a lot of times with balding, right? Yeah. I mean, there's, every bald guy kind of tries to make some jokes about it. There's the, depending on where you're losing your hair, right? In the front, you're a thinker, and in the back, you're a lover, right? And if you're losing it both places, you think you're a lover, right? Little jokes like that, right? But it, again, for a lot of men, losing their hair and going bald is a big deal, right? Yeah. But a lot of the stuff that you just brought up there, it's amazing how much emphasis so many of us we put on our hair, because kind of what we're taught in society and other things like that. Yeah. I've kind of gone a different route. I took the whole thing where, my dad and my brother, who I have hair like them, right? So not everybody in our family has the same hair, but I have the same hairline and everything else. And so I started watching my brother especially lose his hair quicker than my dad did. And he started he wasn't doing a comb over, but it was, a little bit. And I'm like, I am never going to do that. Right. And so I just made the decision, probably 20 years ago almost, to just start shaving my head. Right. Yeah. So even like right now, I usually wear a hat, and right now, I mean, my hair is actually long. I still got a lot of hair up there.
Yeah, you do.
Right. I'm looking like a hippie right now. Because usually I just usually shave my head every, couple of weeks. Right. Yeah. So to me, I looked at it as, you know what, I don't want to deal with hat hair.
Yeah. Ugh.
I don't want to have to deal with, washing and combing it and worrying about it blowing in the wind. So I'm just going to cut it off. Right. And what's interesting is I probably have more hair because I keep it short.
Yep.
As well too. Right. I mean, it's graying. My beard's a lot grayer, but when it actually grows out, you can see it more in my hair.
Yeah.
But I just chose to go that route, right? Because I heard a story about Einstein once where it's the reason his hair was all crazy like that was he didn't want to worry about it. He just let it grow and it would do whatever it did. And I'm like, I like the concept, but I'd rather do it with no hair.
Yeah.
Right. So I usually cut my hair off, but I do wear hats because I like hats and, sun cancer, issues and other stuff like that. I usually wear a hat. But like you said, I mean, there's just like the experience that you just shared, right? Like especially women going through cancer.
Yeah.
Chemo treatments and other stuff like that, it's a hard deal. I think the nice thing though is that there's more people going through it now, and it's more public facing, so you don't feel like you're the only one.
Yeah.
The other thing that I noticed with the whole, COVID and crazy stuff that we've been living through is a lot of people did just let their hair go gray.
Yeah, or whatever
it ends up being.
Yeah.
And have chosen to take more of a natural, look to it, which I think is wonderful as well. I mean, if you want to be natural, be natural. If you want to dye your hair, dye your hair. If you want it to be long, if you want it to be short, it doesn't matter. It's your hair.
Right.
But,
well, and that's one of the things I had to get over. And it was so humiliating to, when my hairdresser's trying to do something with my hair, and I was almost in tears in her chair. And she said, why don't you go down to Kimberly's Wigs and get some extensions? And that sounded to me like kind of not a failure, but I was almost humiliated to walk in a wig shop and say, my hair is shit right now, help me. And then I thought about it. I'm like, if I am so upset at how my hair looks and I can't even wear it down because there's nothing to wear it down with, if I have to wear it in a clip all the time, what's wrong with that? How is that any different than me putting on makeup, putting color in my hair, people who do Botox, or, how is getting hair extensions any different? Hollywood, all the long hair in Hollywood, 90% of it's extensions, it's or the glue in or whatever it is. And when I walked in the door, the woman was so nice. She hooked me up with these extensions. They look, nobody knows. Like, I've gone to the Magic Castle with people where they make a comment about how long and great my hair looks. I'm like, yeah, it's totally fake. And they're like, what? So I've now gotten comfortable with saying, it's not my hair. It's almost been kind of fun because people don't know it's not mine. If you look at all my pictures in the last 6 months of me at the Magic Castle with the long hair, it's not my hair. It's real hair. It's just not really mine. But it looks great. And I've now gotten so used to it, and I've gotten comfortable saying that to people. And now that mine's growing back in and I can wear it down again, I like how it looks with the extensions. I still wear it with the extensions, even though I probably could just maybe in the next month or two wear mine down again. I've just learned to embrace that. That's what I do right now. It's fun. It's kind of fun to have long hair, and you get to play with that with different styles. And I've never had that before because my hair is so fine. So it's like, adapt to whatever you need to do. If you want to go wear crazy wigs, do it. If you want to get extensions, if you want to do hair replacement stuff, if you're a guy. I mean, I have a really dear friend who in the next year, his goal is to do the hair replacement because he's tired of having a hairline that is worse than yours, So he's like, we have so many choices now, and it's totally acceptable because of what Hollywood's doing. The clip-in ponytails and the clip-in bangs and you could create whatever you want. Just go have fun with it. And it took me a little to get over that because it was sad and scary. But when I embraced it, I realized, wow, this is like almost kind of freedom for me to get to be able to play with long hair that I never get to be able to do naturally.
Well, I think that's probably one of the most important things, that word embrace, right? Because it's like, again, don't just be yourself, be who you want. If you want long hair, then have long hair. If you can't do it, then get some help with extensions or whatever else. If you're going bald and you're okay embracing it because that's who you are, then just embrace it. Right? I mean, quit trying to be somebody else. I see posts all the time, especially from women about, oh my gosh, my hair is so curly, and I just saw one, it looks like a mullet when I let it down. And it's like, it does not look like a mullet, right? and that curvy hair, wavy hair, other women would die for, right? I mean, because you hear other women like, oh my gosh, I wish I had your hair, right? Well, instead of necessarily wishing that we had what other people have, why not just embrace who you are?
Yeah.
Right. And I think a lot of times, that stress and anxiety and everything else that goes around your hair, just embrace who you are and do what it is that you want to do. It's your hair. If you want to wear wigs, wear wigs. If you want to go all natural, go all natural. If you want to have purple hair, then have purple hair, right? It's like, it's your hair. Or red streaks, or cut it all off, right? It's entirely up to you. So
yeah, cool. We never know where these conversations are going to go. All right, go out, embrace your hair, and if you don't like it, go get somebody else's hair. That's what I did.
Of course, ethically, you don't like go cut it off with somebody else. No, go to a wig shop. Go to a wig shop.
But yeah, it's coming back. It's coming back. So
very cool. Very cool.
Thanks. All right, I'm Kathy Groover. I can be reached at kathygruver.com.
And I'm Jason Mefford. I can be reached at jasonmefford.com. So have a great week, everybody. Good hair day, bad hair day, it doesn't matter. Cat day, it doesn't matter. We'll see you on the next episode of the Fire and Earth Podcast. See ya.